Okay, I want to talk about this video that I've just seen on YouTube called "Are the Wombles Racially Diverse or a Woke Disaster?" Now, first and foremost, the Wombles are like, they're wombats, and it was a children's show in the 70s, these little wombat family and community. They're really cute, very, very cute. And I want to say right now, I never once watching those as a kid. And I didn't grow up in the 70s, I watched it in the 90s. But I watched like the originals. I never once ever thought about what colour they were. Or anything about this whole woke culture. Nothing that could be considered... like, nothing that we have an issue with today did I ever think of as a kid. Like, I didn't think about what colour they were, didn't think about what they were saying. I was just enjoying these cute little creatures, recycling things. That was kind of their thing. They were very environmentally friendly and forwards, and so they were ahead of their time for the 70s. But, right, The video in question is by This Morning, and I want to say right now, I despise Piers Morgan, but I do agree with him on some things, and we're just gonna go through this video. I'm also feeding my kids, so.
Are not humans, they're creatures.
Joanna, representation absolutely matters, and it's really important for children. But Wombles are not human characters, are they? And they were created in, by Elizabeth, Marcus's mum, in a certain way. She didn't want them to get involved in the world of politics, religion, all the rest of it. Why do you think it's important that they are changed?
Well, I think that the way that they originally were isn't necessarily racist. I don't think that, there's been a big campaign to say the Wombles have to be diversified. I think that we're now in a completely different generation.
Nobody's actually saying do it. Why do it?
Well, I think that it's a decision that somebody else has made that is not the creator, and I think that it's something that's just...
Can I just say, like, I have no clue why she's talking about this. If you are not the person advocating for change, why are you even here? What's the point? What are you doing?
Letting the characters actually evolve into this new generation, and I think it is actually very kind of culturally and in society a lot more relevant to the Britain that we live in right now.
Are they? They're
but they do
Wombles.
human things, so they do things like recycle, and when children watch shows like this, whether they're watching a cartoon or anything like that, the actions that those characters are taking are relevant to these children. So it doesn't matter.
You don't agree, though, do you?
What Joanna just said in regards to the actions that they're taking is really important, but it doesn't matter what colour they are. That shows actually I'm going to make that decision to recycle or not recycle. It's about actually someone's created within their mind a fictional character that does great things for their environment, and it's about learning about the things that they do, not what they look.
This is the thing. You're about to say what they look like. This is the thing. I am an artist. If I create cartoons, okay? If I create a cartoon, make a TV show, blah, 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 and someone is like, no, you need to be more inclusive. Why? Should I take that? It's not my responsibility. I actually have a couple of ideas for children's cartoons and stories that I want to do, and they will be teaching kids nice things, how to behave, how to share toys, that kind of thing. But like, it's not my responsibility as an artist and as a creator to make sure that everyone is feeling okay. You're never going to please everybody, that's the point. I mean, this is the 70s we're talking about as well. This wonderful, wholesome little TV show for kids. And people are like, nah, it needs to be more diverse now. It's like, I understand the change of the times, but it was already wholesome. And I completely agree with they're not humans. They're doing human things, yes, but they don't need to be diversified. And that's, I think, is one of the wonderful things about children's shows that use animals and anthropomorphic figures as opposed to having people, because then you need to include people of colour or whatever the correct term is, and you need to diversify. But, I won't ramble.
like or who they are. So I think that's really important, and there's so many other ways to demonstrate diversity and inclusion.
It just
why
seems
would you change
it seems so patronising to me. I'm not a black person, but if I was, I would think, oh, really? You're going to darken the skin tone of Wombles to try and make some diversity point. To me, it's a grating point. It's unnecessary. Nobody was calling for it. And it kind of makes a mockery to me of what is a really important battle, which is the battle for genuine diversity in all aspects.
I think this is important as well. No one asked for it. Where? Like, I have no idea where this has come from. I think, yeah, it's a revamp of the Wombles. So, the family of the person who made this show have revamped it. They still have a right to keep it as it is in its original form. They don't need... Why should they have to diversify something that's already wholesome and nice? And I realise this makes me kind of like a racist, but I'm all for diversity. Absolutely. Everyone should be I live in Sweden, for God's sake. Alright, it's diversity and inclusivity is like their number one, okay? Oh.
Of life.
Yeah, and definitely, I don't speak on the whole, obviously, black community, but in my own opinion, it's something that allows that creativity, that imagination of young people, and there's so many other ways to educate people. For example, the Teletubbies, they have the different diversity, different colours, but within their tummies, they show you the different things, inclusion and diversity within the world, and there's different ways to do that.
Sorry, Joanna, carry on.
I think for me, we're in a completely different generation. When these were made originally in the 70s, we've said that they were progressive in terms of, you know, the environmental things, and they were kind of pushing the boat when it comes to that. But with now, I think what really would be progressive would be actually adding on about the diversity, about, you know, veganism. If somebody's an environmental vegan, I think that it's a lot more relevant now.
But they're all things. You know, you can have a vegan Womble. It makes...
Wombats are already vegans. Well, I don't think wombats eat meat. I think they eat bugs and dried things. I don't know the dietary needs of a wombat, but I'm pretty sure it's not meat. This is what I mean. We don't... And okay, I support the movement of vegetarianism. Veganism, I'm okay with it as long as it's done correctly and you're not pushing it up in my face, alright? But I'd support where they're going with it. I understand their motives, not vegetarian or vegan myself, but you don't need it in everything. Could you imagine if we had all this woke culture in everything we watched? We would never be allowed to speak or breathe. Or, like...
They are all vegetarians.
They're all vegetarians.
Right,
they're all vegetarians anyway. So you know, we're already there. They were ahead of you.
I think what's important with this is that the characters as well seem to have evolved. So I think they've got their own social media platform now. You know, on Instagram and Twitter, and they have things like, you know, Be Kind campaign. I think that the actual remit of what the Womble's trying to teach children now is a lot different.
But Joanna,
from what it was in
have
the
you
70s.
heard a single person in the entire world, other than the makers of this new remake, actually say, you know what we really need is some more diverse Wombles? I mean, have you ever heard anyone say that?
Can I just point out? Can I just point out the little Womble right here? So cute. I always wanted a red scarf. I now have two. Always wanted a red scarf and hat, just like the Womble. Oh, I love them. They're brilliant.
But
have you ever heard a black person ever in the world say, I really want to see a black Womble?
I honestly think the people who have a problem with this are the ones that are making this a much bigger deal. So I think...
Like you sitting there, who doesn't even see... Look how cute those little creatures are. They don't need diversifying. You've got a little old Womble here. You've got... I don't remember the names. I'm really sorry. I'm making a bad case for them right now. But you've got the old Womble. You've got this one with a little sandwich. They don't need diversifying. They're already wholesome and lovely as they are. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
think that it's something that somebody sat around a brainstorming table and said, you know what, we're going to evolve these characters. We're going to talk about...
Marcus's mother created the Wombles.
And my sister
I understand
and his
that.
sister is still writing them. I think that they're probably entitled to have a view
definitely.
about what happens to the Wombles.
One thing that I will say is that in terms of this whole argument, with Marcus's point, I completely respect that, and I can, you know, understand it because I can see it from like a sentimental point of view. But if I sit here and have this conversation about diversity in a objective way,
do you know what does a lot
say,
more? Do you know what?
Is it okay for them to be different shades of brown? You know what? Yeah, it is.
We had a guy called Akir come on, who was the head boy of the school where Meghan Markle had made her speech, and he went up and made the joke about her looking beautiful and so on. And in 10 minutes, that boy, for me, did more for diversity and inclusion and race issues and anything we've had on this programme probably in 5 years. Blacking up a Womble has the complete opposite effect to what the people doing it think it has.
Brandon,
it doesn't actually help anything.
I never thought the Wombles were white in the first place, so I'm not quite sure what the diversity... As in, they're sort of...
They're orange.
They're different.
Well, they're all orange.
You know what I mean?
They're all orange.
They're not human characters.
Right.
I know you're saying
Just going back to that...
Again, I grew up watching the Wombles, right? Because that was what I watched when I was a kid. You'd never think about that stuff. The kids don't care. Seriously, I promise you, young children do not care. All children care about is being happy, being loved, having all their toys and something nice to chomp on. That is all kids. And I'm saying that as a new mum. I have discovered that kids don't give a shit. My boy, he had this little shadow demon here. He could not give two shits so long as he is fed, loved, cuddled and played, all that good stuff. And when he grows up, I'm gonna make him, I'm gonna sit him down and force him to watch the Wombles. I'm gonna make sure he gets to watch a diverse range of kids shows. I'd like him to watch the things that I grew up watching, because the things I grew up watching teaches you to be a good person. I used to watch absolutely the most cringy, it's so wholesome it's cringy, and I will do that in another video, but kids don't care. They want something entertaining and cute to watch. Seriously.
Point that you mentioned, Kiss, about Akir, he was an amazing interview. I saw it myself, I've reposted it, but in regards to him, there are thousands of other young boys just like him.
Yes.
It's about what you perceive and what you put out there.
But my point being that he is a role model and inspiration. In that one interview he did with us, in that moment with Meghan Markle, to me, he's such an empowering young man to other young black men and young girls.
But he's relatable, he's a human.
Yes.
And this is a fictional
exactly
character.
my point.
So why are you even putting fictional characters with diversity and realistic humans and how they can learn? So
personification.
How can we keep it the same? It's about what they do, not what they look like.
And but it's not hurting anybody, is it?
Well, it is hurting.
Actually, in a way it is, in a way it is.
Joanna, Eartha, Marcus, lovely to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you all very much. Well, give us your views on whether the...
Alright. Like, it drives me crazy. You don't need to diversify kids' shows because, quite frankly, they don't care. They just don't care. Kids care about being loved, having something warm and nice in their tummies, and just... Oh, kids don't care. And that's the beauty of children as well. I was having a discussion today with the other half about how one of my favourite memories of children, just generally, I used to work in like a food shop on the till, and there was this little girl who came up, and I had shaved my head for charity, so I was completely bald. She came up and she turned to her mum and said, "Mummy, why is that? No, let me see now, sorry, I'm fucking out." The little girl said, "Mummy, is that a man or a lady?" Bless her mum's soul, she went red and I think she wished she could have disappeared, and I laughed. I said, it's fine. And I explained to the little girl, I shaved my hair off for charity. I shaved my hair off to make some money for people who are sick. She seemed perfectly cool with that, and that was it. Done and done. Kids don't care, they're brutally honest. I don't think in the history of my life have I ever wondered why one thing is one colour or one thing is another colour, or why do they eat meat. I've never once asked why, like, what's a vegetarian. You're trying to get on camera. You're trying to get on camera, aren't you? I remember when I was about 14, my friend told me she was a pescatarian, and I didn't know what that is, and I asked, because I asked if she was vegetarian, I think, and she said I'm a pescatarian. She said that she eats only fish is the only thing she eats, and not meat. Is that right? I think that's right, though. Yeah. But my point stands. Oh my god, I'm drifting. My point is, these kids shows don't need diversifying. And seriously, look up here at these. What is it? There's 5 here. You can see they've all different colours. They're already diverse. They've already taken this into consideration. There is no obligation to any artist or creator to start teaching, because you're not a teacher. It's not your job. Your job is to create, and if you have a platform with a following, I think maybe it's your job. You have to behave a certain way, but that's a different discussion entirely. But it is not your job to be diversifying every little thing that you do. I know! We'll get to you in a minute. It's no one's job to diversify what they create and make it something for everyone else. Art and creation is for you, and it is a personal thing. So the fact that people are upset that this man's family, like, it's an what they say, son of the original Wombles creator says remake is an insult to his mum's memory. Fair enough. But then again, they should have got permission probably. But a remake would have been great, but I would have preferred a remake of them in their original form. I don't know, I'm rambling. This woke stuff annoys me, and I agree with Piers Morgan on some things, but I do despise him. He can see me on the camera, that's why. Hello. Yeah. I'm not going to show his pretty face. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a like. Do it because he said so. There you go. How can you say no to that? Well, you can almost see his face. Alright, I'm out, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another rant video, probably.